Hello and welcome back to Radio BFit. You are listening to The Deep Dive.
It is good to be back.
Yeah?
And wow, we have a massive stack of research on the desk today.
We really do. And honestly, this deep dive feels a little personal for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was standing in the grocery store yesterday, just, standing there, staring at the wall of bread. Just staring.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this moment where I thought, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing anymore.
Oh, the bread aisle paralysis.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. It's a very documented phenomena.
It is so real. I mean, think about all the signal noise we deal with. One day I'm reading an article that says I should only eat things our ancestors, hunted with a sharpened stick.
Right.
The next day, I see a headline claiming blueberries are the only thing standing between me and total metabolic collapse. And then 5 minutes later,
Guess. Blueberries are bad.
blueberries are full of sugar and I should avoid them. It is exhausting. I felt like I was doom scrolling, but in real life, in front of a loaf of sourdough.
We have all been there. Truly. We live in this era of information overload where food has, it's transformed from just a basic necessity into this
Yes.
moral and intellectual minefield.
Yes.
It feels less like dinner and more like a test you didn't study for.
Exactly. And that is why I am so excited about the sources we're covering today, because we are stripping all of that noise away. We're not looking at the fads.
Nope.
We're not looking at the hack your biology in 24-hour stuff.
Right. We are going back to first principles. The sources we've pulled for this deep dive focus on the physiological foundation of just feeling good.
Yeah.
No extreme diets, no banning entire food groups, no misery.
Which I love, because
Mhm.
frankly, I don't have the willpower to be miserable for the sake of the six-pack.
Oh, duh.
I just want to feel good and not, fall asleep at my desk at 3 p.m. So let's get into the philosophy first. The core concept in all this research seems to be the shift from dieting to sustainability.
It's such a critical distinction. The data shows that restrictive diets, where you cut out massive categories of food or drop your calories dangerously low, they have a failure rate of about 95% over a 5-year period.
Wait, 95%?
95.
That's staggering. So that basically means if you start some restrictive diet today, you are statistically almost guaranteed to be back where you started, or even worse, in a few years.
It's because of something called metabolic adaptation. When you starve yourself, your body doesn't think, oh, look, we're getting beach ready.
Right.
It thinks famine has arrived. So it downregulates your metabolism to save energy. So the source material here argues for a totally different approach. Sustainability. It's about building a way of eating that you can actually stick to for life, not just for, 3 weeks in January.
So it's shifting the mindset from I am on a diet to this is just how I eat.
Precisely. And the quick take from our research highlights that this doesn't require clearing out your entire pantry tonight. It suggests starting with the foundation. And that foundation is something we hear about constantly, but I think rarely define well. Whole foods.
Okay, so let's define it. Because Whole Foods sounds like that expensive grocery store with the really nice lighting.
It does have nice lighting, I'll give it that. But in this context, we are talking about something called the food matrix.
The Food Matrix. That sounds like a sci-fi sequel. But I'm assuming we're not talking about dodging bullets here.
No, but it is a crucial concept in nutrition science. A whole food, like an apple, a grain of brown rice, or a piece of fish. It isn't just a bag of chemicals, it's a complex structure. The fiber, the water, the vitamins, the minerals, they're all bound together in this specific matrix. And that structure dictates how your body digests it.
So it's about how the food is packaged by nature.
Exactly. When you eat a whole food, your body has to actually work to break down that matrix to get the energy out. And that work is good. It slows down digestion, it keeps your blood sugar stable, and it feeds your gut microbiome.
Okay, and this brings us to the processing problem. I'll play devil's advocate here because I think a lot of listeners wonder this. Is Whole Foods just a buzzword? I mean, does it really matter if my rice is white or brown?
Okay.
It's all rice.
All carbohydrates.
Right.
That is the million-dollar question. Chemically, if you burn them in a lab, they are pretty similar. But biologically, inside your body, they behave totally differently. This is where we need to look at the Novier classification system, which is what researchers use to categorize food.
Okay, break that down for me.
So you have unprocessed foods, the apple. Then you have processed culinary ingredients like olive oil or butter. Then you have processed foods like fresh bread or cheese. And then finally you have ultra-processed foods.
Ah, the stuff in the crinkly packages that will survive the apocalypse.
Right. And when you ultra-process a food, let's take that brown rice and turn it into a sugary puffed rice cereal, you are completely destroying the food matrix. You strip away the bran and the germ.
You're taking out all the good stuff.
You are. You're taking out the fiber, the vitamins, the minerals. But you are also doing something else, something that's really important to understand. You are pre-digesting the food.
Pre-digesting, that sounds kind of unappealing.
Essentially, the factory has done the work your stomach was supposed to do. So when you eat that white rice or that sugary cereal, there is no matrix to break down. The glucose just hits your bloodstream like a tidal wave.
So white rice is basically the ghost of brown rice.
That's a very poetic way to put it, yes. It's energy without the structure. It's all fuel and no brakes.
And this applies to bread too, I'm guessing. White bread versus whole grain.
Absolutely. It's the exact same principle.
Yeah.
The research suggests we shouldn't think about banning white bread, but rather using what they call the swap strategy.
I like strategies. How does that work in practice?
It's just about looking for the whole version of what you already eat. If you usually buy white pasta, maybe try the whole grain pasta or even a chickpea pasta next time. If you usually buy fruit cocktail and syrup.
Oh, the stuff in the can? I used to love that as a kid. The one with the single solitary cherry that you had to fight your siblings for.
That's the one. But that syrup is usually just high fructose corn syrup. And so the swap is to just buy a fresh apple or a pear instead. You're still getting the fruit, but you're getting it in this matrix.
That feels really doable. It's not don't eat fruit. It's eat the fruit that actually looks like fruit.
Precisely. So if whole foods are the foundation, we need to understand the machinery of how our body uses them. And for that, we need to talk about the macro trio.
The macro trio, I like it. Sounds like a superhero team. Carbs, proteins, and fats.
They are the building blocks of literally everything you are.
Let's start with the controversial one. The villain of the early 2000s. Carbohydrates.
Poor carbohydrates. They have been demonized so effectively.
They really have. For years, the message was, carbs are the enemy. If you even look at a potato, you gain 5 pounds. But we need them, right? Like biologically.
We absolutely need them. I mean, glucose is the primary fuel source for your brain and your red blood cells. Your brain alone consumes about 20% of your daily energy, and it runs almost exclusively on glucose.
So if I cut carbs to 0, my brain is, what? Just running on fumes.
It has to switch to alternative fuels like ketones, which is a whole other metabolic state. But for the average person, carbs are essential. The problem isn't the carb, it's the delivery system. We need to distinguish between simple and complex carbohydrates.
Okay, so who are the good guys and who are the bad guys in this movie?
So the good guys, or maybe let's call them the metabolic allies, are the complex carbohydrates. These are your slow burners. Think quinoa, brown rice, oats, sweet potatoes, pumpkin, beans.
Why are they complex? Is it just because they're harder to cook?
No, it actually refers to their chemical structure. They're these long chains of sugar molecules all strung together, and they're usually wrapped in fiber. Your body has to bring in enzymes to snip those chains apart one by one.
So it takes time. It's like having to untie a massive knot before you can use the rope.
That's a perfect analogy. It results in this slow, steady trickle of glucose into your blood. It's like a dripping faucet. You get sustained energy for hours.
Which then brings us to the spikers, the simple carbs.
Yep. Sugar, soda, white bread, pastries. These are really short chains or even single molecules. They digest instantly. They just shoot glucose straight into your bloodstream like a fire hose.
And that's where all the trouble starts.
Right. Because high blood sugar is actually toxic to your blood vessels, so your body kind of panics. The pancreas pumps out a massive amount of insulin to deal with it.
Insulin is the traffic cop.
Insulin is the storage hormone. It grabs that sugar and it shoves it into your cells as fast as it possibly can to get it out of the blood. But because it overreacts, your blood sugar then crashes.
And that is the 3.00 p.m. slump.
That is the crash.
Yeah.
You feel tired, foggy, and this is the crucial part. Your brain thinks you are out of fuel, so it triggers cravings for more sugar.
Oh, it's a vicious cycle. You eat the donut, you crash, you crave another donut.
Exactly. Prioritizing complex carbs, the oats, the beans, it keeps you off that roller coaster.
Steady is good. I want steady. Okay, so that's our energy. Now let's talk about the builder, protein.
Protein is the structural component of the human body.
Now, usually when people talk about protein, they picture bodybuilders chugging shakes. I have largely given up on looking like a gladiator. I'm aiming for more of a moderately fit dad physique. Do I still need to worry about protein?
You absolutely do, perhaps even more so as you age. We all experience something called sarcopenia, which is just natural muscle loss, and it starts in our 30s. Protein is really the only way to counteract that.
So if I'm not eating enough protein, my body is basically trying to repair a house without any bricks.
That is a perfect analogy. But there's another kind of hidden benefit to protein that the source material really highlights. It has a high thermic effect of food, or TFEF.
TF. I've seen this acronym. What does that actually mean?
It just means that digesting protein costs energy. Your body burns about 20 to 30% of the calories in the protein just to digest and absorb it.
Wait. So if I eat 100 calories of chicken, my body burns up to 30 calories just processing it.
Roughly, yes. Compare that to fats or carbs, which have a very low thermic effect. We're talking like 0 to 5%. So high-protein diets essentially boost your metabolism just through the act of digestion.
That is a biological hack I can definitely get behind. So
No.
what are the best sources? We want lean protein, right?
Generally, yeah. We want to maximize the protein while managing the accompanying baggage, which is usually saturated fat. For animal sources, we're talking skinless poultry chicken, turkey. Fish is huge here, not just for the protein, but for the oils. And eggs are the gold standard for bioavailability.
Meaning our bodies can use the protein in eggs really, really easily.
Yes. The amino acid profile of an egg is almost perfect for what we need as humans.
What about for the plant-based folks? Or, for me on Meatless Mondays?
There are fantastic options. Tofu and tempeh are great because they're complete proteins. They have all the essential amino acids. Lentils and chickpeas are amazing too.
I have recently discovered the joy of roasted chickpeas. They're like crunchy little flavor bombs. They're so good.
They're fantastic. And with beans and legumes, you're getting a 2-for-1 deal. You get the protein plus all that great fiber.
Okay, so we've got energy from complex carbs. We've got bricks and a metabolic boost from lean protein. Now we have to talk about the one that scares people. Fat.
Ah, the F word of nutrition.
For the longest time, fat-free was the golden label on everything. If it was fat-free, you could eat a gallon of it.
And usually, to make that fat-free food taste like anything, they just load it up with sugar and thickeners.
But the research here is pretty clear. Fat does not make you fat.
Not directly, no. In fact, you need fat to burn fat, and you need fat to think.
Okay, explain that. Need fat to think.
Your brain is roughly 60% fat. The protective coating around your neurons, the myelin sheath, is made of fat. If you don't have enough healthy fats in your diet, your cognitive function can really suffer.
So the low-fat craze might have actually been making us dumber.
I mean, it certainly wasn't helping our neurology. Fats are also the taxi drivers for certain vitamins.
The taxi drivers.
Yeah, so vitamins A, D, E, and K are fat-soluble. That means they dissolve in fat, not water. So if you eat a big bowl of raw spinach, which is full of vitamin K, but you eat it with 0 fat, your body can't absorb most of that vitamin. It just passes right through you.
So you're telling me I actually need the salad dressing?
You need some kind of fat source. Olive oil, avocado, a handful of nuts. You need a taxi to drive the vitamins into your bloodstream.
Okay, so we just need to call the right taxi company. Who are the reputable drivers here?
You want unsaturated fats. That's monounsaturated and polyunsaturated.
Can we dumb that down a bit? What foods are we talking about?
Avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and the big one, omega-3 fatty acids, which you find in fatty fish like salmon and mackerel.
So, technically, guacamole is brain food.
I will sign off on that. Yes, guacamole is brain food.
I knew it. I knew I was getting smarter with every single chip. Well, maybe not the chip.
Focus on the dip, not the chip.
Yeah.
The fats to avoid are the trans fats, partially hydrogenated oils. These are industrial fats that are used to increase shelf life. They're just universally recognized as harmful. And we generally want to limit saturated fats, the ones that are solid at room temperature, like butter or the fat on a steak, because they can impact cholesterol levels in some people.
Okay, so don't feel the fat. Just choose the avocado over the bacon grease.
A simple rule to live by.
All right, so we have our building blocks. We've got the macro trio, but now we have to actually put this on a plate. And this is where I think people get really overwhelmed. Do I need a scale? Do we need a calculator? Do I have to measure my food in grams?
You can do that. And for elite athletes, that level of precision really matters. But for the rest of us just trying to live a healthy life, the research suggests a visual approach is way more sustainable. And it all starts with color.
Eating the rainbow, which I know it sounds like a candy commercial, but I assume we're talking about produce here.
We are. The colors of your food aren't just there to look pretty on Instagram. They actually tell you what phytochemicals are inside.
Phytochemicals, that sounds intense.
It just means plant chemicals. These are biologically active compounds that protect the plant, and when we eat them, they protect us. Nature has basically color-coded the medicine cabinet for us.
Okay, decode it for me. What does red mean?
Red usually signals lycopene or anthocyanins. Think tomatoes, strawberries, red peppers, watermelon. Lycopene is a really potent antioxidant that is heavily linked to heart health and, for men specifically, prostate health.
Okay, red for the heart. That's easy enough to remember. What about orange and yellow?
That's your carrots, sweet potatoes, oranges, cantaloupe. That color usually comes from beta-carotene, and your body converts beta-carotene into vitamin A.
My mom always told me carrots were good for my eyes. She wasn't just making that up.
She was scientifically accurate. Vitamin A is essential for vision and also for immune function.
Moms usually are right. Okay, what about green? That's the big one.
Green is the powerhouse.
Yeah.
Spinach, kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. The pigment is chlorophyll, of course, but they are packed with vitamins A, C, K, and folate. This is bone health, blood clotting, general cellular repair. It's just so good for you.
And then the dark ones, like blue and purple.
These are my favorites. Blueberries, eggplant, blackberries, purple cabbage. The pigment there is called anthocyanin.
Anthocyanin.
Is a powerful antioxidant.
Right.
These are the stress fighters. They help combat what's called oxidative stress in the brain. Some studies even call blueberries brain berries because of their link to delaying cognitive decline.
Brain berries. I like that. Okay, and finally, white. Because I usually think of white food as the bad carb stuff we talked about, but cauliflower is white, garlic is white.
Correct. Natural white foods are totally distinct from processed white foods. So garlic, onions, cauliflower, mushrooms, they contain compounds like allicin, that's in garlic, which has antiviral and antibacterial properties. They're amazing for the immune system.
So the goal isn't to memorize the name of every single phytochemical. The goal is just to look at your plate. And if it's all beige...
We have a problem, yeah. Beige usually means processed grains and fried foods.
But if I have some green, some red, maybe some orange sweet potato, I'm probably covering my bases.
Exactly. It's like painting. You want a colorful palette. It pretty much ensures you're getting a broad spectrum of micronutrients without having to take a multivitamin.
Okay, so I'm eating the rainbow, but here is the catch. I can still overeat healthy food, right? Like almonds are good fats. But if I eat a whole bucket of almonds...
You will likely gain weight. This is the tragic truth of thermodynamics. Calories still matter.
So how do we manage that without carrying a food scale around in our pocket?
The source material recommends something called the plate method. It is a visual heuristic, basically a shortcut for your brain.
Okay, lay it on me.
Imagine your dinner plate. Just draw a line down the middle. One entire half of that plate should be vegetables.
50% veggies. Okay. That's significantly more than most people are used to.
It is. But here is why it works. Volumetrics. Vegetables are really high in volume, fiber and water, but they're very low in calories. They physically stretch your stomach, which triggers the vagus nerve to tell your brain, hey, we are full.
So you get the sensation of a big, full meal without the huge caloric load.
Exactly. Now, the other side of the plate, you split that in half again, so you have 2 quarters.
Okay.
1 quarter is your lean protein, about the size of a deck of cards, roughly. The other quarter is your high-quality carbs, so your quinoa, your sweet potato, or your whole grain pasta.
So the pasta isn't the whole plate?
Ideally, no. The pasta is the side dish. The veggies are the main event.
That is a major paradigm shift. I mean, I grew up with the pasta being the mountain and maybe a single piece of broccoli as like a garnish.
We're flipping the script. And here's a little psychological trick that the research mentions. Use smaller plates.
Just physically smaller crockery.
Yes. It's based on something called the Delboeuf-Illusion. If you put a normal portion on a massive 12-inch dinner plate, your brain looks at all that empty space and it signals scarcity. I'm being starved.
That brain is so dramatic.
Very. But if you put that same amount of food on a 9-inch salad plate, it looks full. Your brain registers abundance and you actually feel more satisfied.
That is hacking the matrix right there. I love that.
And one more rule for portions. The package danger?
Oh, no. I know exactly where this is going.
Never eat straight from the bag.
But the bag is so convenient. It's right there.
It is. But when you eat from the bag, you bypass your visual satiety cues. You can't see how much you've eaten. You just reach the bottom and wonder who ate all your chips.
It was the chip ghost. It wasn't me.
Put a serving in a bowl. Put the bag away, maybe in a different room. Then sit down and eat. You will enjoy it more, and you won't accidentally eat 4 servings.
That is the bottom of the chip bag phenomenon, and it is very, very real. Okay, so we have the plate method. 50% veggies, 25% protein, 25% grains. Small plates. No eating from the bag.
You've got the system.
But now we have to talk about the traps. Because the modern grocery store is essentially an obstacle course designed to make us fail. It's like Indiana Jones in there.
It really is. I mean, food engineering is a very sophisticated industry. They know exactly how to hit the bliss point, that perfect ratio of sugar, salt, and fat that makes a food borderline addictive.
And the biggest weapon in their arsenal seems to be sugar.
The sweet enemy. And not just the obvious sugar in, like, candy. We're talking about hidden sugars.
See, this is what makes me angry. When I buy a candy bar, I know what I'm doing. I'm making a grown-up choice to eat junk. But when I buy something that looks healthy and it's secretly full of sugar, that feels like a betrayal.
It's so tricky. Take yogurt. A plain Greek yogurt is a fantastic health food. But those fruit-flavored yogurts, some of them have more sugar than a donut.
That is wild.
Or healthy granola bars. They're often just oatmeal cookies in disguise, held together by corn syrup. Even things like pasta sauce and salad dressings are often loaded with sugar to balance the acidity.
So how do we spot the trap?
You have to be a detective, you have to read the ingredient label, and you have to know the aliases. Sugar has over 50 different names on labels.
50 names.
High fructose corn syrup, sucrose, dextrose, maltose, agave nectar, cane juice crystals, barley malt.
So if it ends in ooze, it's probably sugar.
That's a great rule of thumb. The fix is often just going back to the whole food. Instead of the strawberry-flavored yogurt with all that syrup at the bottom, buy plain Greek yogurt and just throw some fresh strawberries in it.
That way you control the sweetness.
Exactly. And watch your liquid calories. That is the easiest way to cut hidden sugar. Soda, obviously, but even fruit juice.
Oh, juice breaks my heart. I thought orange juice was the nectar of health.
It has vitamins, sure. But when you juice a fruit, you strip away all the fiber, the matrix we talked about.
Yeah.
So you are taking the sugar of 5 oranges and drinking it in 10 seconds. Your liver just gets hammered with fructose.
So it's better to just eat the orange.
Always eat the fruit, don't drink it.
So stick to water, herbal tea, or, dare I say it, sparkling water.
Sparkling water is a great swap if you crave that carbonation, that fizz.
Okay. Now, what about snacking? Because I am a grazer. If you tell me I have to stop snacking, our friendship might be tested.
Don't worry, the research doesn't say don't snack. It just says snack smarter.
Define smart.
Well, the problem with most snacks like chips or pretzels is that they are what you could call naked carbs.
Naked carbs.
They are carbohydrates with no protein or fat to slow them down. So you eat them, your blood sugar spikes, you crash, and you're hungry again in 20 minutes. It's that bottomless pit feeling.
I know it well.
A smart snack has staying power. And the secret formula is pretty simple. Fiber plus protein.
Fiber plus protein. Okay, give me some examples.
An apple, which is fiber, is good. But an apple with a handful of almonds, which is protein and fat, is better.
Because the almonds slow down the absorption of the apple sugar.
Exactly. Veggie sticks with hummus, Greek yogurt with berries, whole grain crackers with a slice of cheese.
It's all about the pairing.
Yes. That combination keeps your blood sugar stable. And it actually keeps you full until dinner so you don't walk in the door hangry and just eat everything in sight while you're cooking.
Hangry is a dangerous state. I have said things I regret when I was hangry.
It's physiological.
Yeah.
When your blood sugar drops, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline, your stress hormones. You literally feel threatened. Smart snacking actually prevents that stress response.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
So eating an apple with peanut butter is actually an emotional regulation strategy.
In a way, yes.
We have covered a massive amount of ground here. I mean, whole foods, the food matrix, the macro trio, and the dermic effect of protein, the color coding, the plate method, the sugar traps. It's a complete system. But I'm going to be honest with you. Life gets busy. I'm running out the door. I'm tired. I can barely remember where my keys are, let alone if I've had enough beta-carotene today. It can be tricky to keep all these rules in your head when you're just staring at a menu.
It really can. Cognitive load is real, and you shouldn't have to memorize a textbook just to eat lunch. You know, that's actually why I wanted to mention a tool that popped up in our source material. Have you checked out BeFit.ai?
I've heard of it. Is it just another calorie counter?
It does calorie counting, but it uses AI to kind of remove the friction.
How so?
Well, for one, it has this photo feature that uses computer vision. You can literally just take a picture of your meal, and the AI analyzes the nutritional value for you.
Wait, so I don't have to type in 1 cup of cooked brown rice, 4 ounces of chicken, I can just snap a pic.
Exactly. It identifies the food and estimates the portion. It saves so much time,
Mm,
and it helps you track those macros we talked about, making sure you're hitting that protein target without doing all the math yourself.
that is super handy. It's like having a little nutritionist in your pocket.
It is, and it's personalized. If your goal is fat loss, or if you want to gain muscle, it tailors the plan to you. Plus, if you want a simple breakdown later, BeFit.ai has a ton of free articles that make fitness and nutrition feel really clear and doable. It's a great resource if you just want to check a fact or get some inspiration.
Nice. I like anything that outsources the math for me.
Me too.
So we've covered the what and the how, but I want to circle back to the why and, the feeling of it all. As we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one big takeaway you want people to leave with?
For me, it's about simplicity and kindness.
Yeah.
Focus on whole foods, things that grew from the earth. Try to make your plate colorful. Watch out for that hidden sugar. But mostly, just be kind to yourself.
That's the key, isn't it?
It is. Food is fuel, yes. It powers your brain and your body. But it is also culture and connection and pleasure. It really shouldn't be a source of stress or shame.
I love that. And from my side, the takeaway is consistency over perfection.
Mhm.
You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be a little better than you were yesterday. Small changes are the ones that actually stick. If you swap the soda for sparkling water today, that's a win. If you add a handful of spinach to your dinner, that's a win.
Absolutely. You are building a home for your health, brick by brick. You don't have to build the whole mansion in a single day.
Exactly. Start with the bricks. Start with the foundation. And if you have a piece of chocolate cake occasionally, enjoy it. The stress of worrying about the cake is probably worse for you than the cake itself.
That is very likely true.
Well, this has been great. I actually feel like I can face the grocery store now without having a panic attack in the bread aisle.
Conquer that aisle. You have the knowledge now.
I do. And thank you to everyone for listening to this deep dive. We hope this helps you navigate your own food choices with a little more confidence and a lot less stress.
Thanks for joining us. Go eat something colorful.
Catch you next time on Radio BeFit.